Shalom, shalom. This is Gidon Ariel. That's me, and I'm speaking now to my good friend Jason Caplan. Shalom, Jason.
Shalom Gidon, Manishma.
Long time no see. How are you doing?
Doing great. Yeah, it's been a while. I missed these meetings. I'm glad we're on track.
What can I do? Maybe I'll switch to instead of once a week, I'll switch to once a day with all of my different friends. And that way I'll be able to meet with people more than just once a month. And then if
Torah
we miss a
floating.
month, then it's once every 2 months.
Exactly. Exactly. Now things are good. Everything's good. We had 2 weeks in Israel in June. I was hoping to see you, but it was my parents' 50th anniversary, and we had a tour booked. So we were
Nice.
every minute we were booked and running around the country was fantastic.
Yefé me'od. Wow, but that was a long time ago, June. My gosh, what June what?
June was a whole nother lifetime. And we were there, and everyone said, "Weren't you nervous or worried?" I would just say, "I never feel safer in Eretz Israel." I mean, I know the realities. I'm not playing like it's just a walk in the park, but something so special about going to Israel. And for anybody listening and thinking about doing something for Israel, I think the best thing is to get a ticket.
I agree. But the second best thing for people who can't afford a ticket, especially since they're a little bit more expensive now,
Yes, they
is
are.
to have a Zoom conversation with Gidon Ariel.
Yes, 100%. This really makes my day. I'm starting my day here at 7:30 in the morning before work, so this is the great way to start my day.
You are in it. I'm gonna mess this up. You're in Atlanta? No.
I'm in Memphis, Tennessee.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Yep.
I'm from New York, so everything north
I
or
know.
south or west is
Flyover. I know. I lived in New York and almost got that worldview.
yeah, so what's going on over there in Memphis?
Um, Pro-Christian support, different kind of world than the coasts. And I'm not writing off the coasts, but there's a real infection of anti-Semitism in your highest levels of learning in your universities is really quite disturbing. But also on the same side, there's a self-correcting mechanism in America, and those people have been let go from their jobs, which has been amazing. All those heads of school, whether it was Columbia or Harvard or there's one more. And so that, I mean, I love to know that there's a self-correcting mechanism. Just that it ever happened in the beginning is kind of incredible. But ever here in Memphis, I'm leading this group called Memphis Friends of Israel, which is Christians and Jews, and we're expanding to other groups to support Israel. And it's just wonderful to have meetings with them and speak with them. Really amazing Christian supporters of Israel. So I see good news where I'm at. I mean, I'm aware of the actual reality of the world. I just want to say thank God, Baruch Hashem, for the release of yet another hostage by the brave soldiers of the IDF. And thank God for them and continued, vigilance for every civilian taken by an evil terrorist group that should never have one supporter in the world.
Yeah, talking about that, I was wondering if you know if anything's gonna being planned in Memphis for the anniversary of October 7th.
I just mentioned it to my rabbi yesterday, or our rabbi yesterday, and I said, I don't know if I'm emotionally prepared. I'm not even in Israel where it touched everyone's life directly. So, that's me here in Memphis. So I don't know what people are planning in Israel, how they're thinking about it. I don't even know if anyone's really thought of what to do here.
Well, as far as Israel is concerned, there's a lot of people who are in position to do countrywide events.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna have here. But I suggest that you approach, especially in your position as part of this Memphis Friends of Israel, which includes both Christians and Jews,
Yeah.
try to put together some sort of a coalition of pro-Israel organizations and have some sort of an event and invite the community, both Christians and Jews.
Yeah. Is Mizrahi doing something or another world organization or oh my
Gotta ask
God.
them. I don't know.
I don't even know if it's on Chagim. I don't know if October 7th itself is on. It seems like the same time of year.
October 7th is the day after Tzom Gedalia, so it's just in between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur.
It's really during the 10 days of Teshuvah.
Right, so it's very Very
Apropos.
good. Very apropos.
This is good. I'll start a couple emails today. I'm glad we talked. I was thinking about it yesterday, and I haven't reached out to any community members, so I'm gonna start doing that this morning.
So it's really a bit of a fumble that I mean, there's this thing called the Council of Presidents of Major U.S. Jewish Organizations or something like that.
Right.
So they should have initiated something for all over. In other words, if anybody in any city wants to do something, we'll be happy to fill out this form and we'll support you in doing it.
Well,
It should really be done everywhere.
I think America usually works 30 days out. I mean, I think September 7th we'll start seeing something. September 10th.
America works 30 days out. America works 30 years out.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm saying the American Jewish community, I noticed that events start being talked about and people start organizing things 30 days out.
Yeah, thing that's the first I've heard that, really. It's always, well, you want to come in a half a year? Oh, let me check my calendar. Oh, we got something going on that Shabbat.
No, I'm really thinking about like Holocaust events and things like that. I always people start making phone calls and start organizing it like the month before. I mean, that's what I've
All
noticed.
right,
And then maybe a Memphis thing.
maybe. Okay, well, September 7th is coming up very quickly also.
No, you're right. I mean, I think I need to reach out this morning. It's strange how we just had a kosher barbecue festival here,
Oh,
and the last big one, which had 30 teams and hundreds of people there, was in 2019. So because of COVID. So to have it again, I thought, gosh, I remember life before 2020 was slightly normal, and the iPhones and the COVID and October 7th. I mean, we've been through a lot. So I pray for better days. I saw a wonderful video with a Muslim sheikh and one of the great Breslov rabbis, Rabbi Shalom Arush, talking to each other, saying, "I hope that there's peace. I hope we bless each other. I hope we all understand we're all God's creation, all created in the image of God." And that really gave me hope because I think one thing that our enemies want to do is make people believe Israel is a land of chaos. And as I always tell people when I'm there, I am concerned, but it is a very peaceful land. It's actually a very peaceful people, the Jewish people. And like when I go out, we were talking about this in Memphis. If our girls go out on the street to walk somewhere, we're a little concerned. We want to know that they got there and they came back. And then in Israel, I can't remember. They were like, "Oh, we'll be back." I was like, "Sure." And we're talking about just walking around Jerusalem. I was like, "Sure,
right.
just come back and make sure you're back at this time." And when you're amongst your Jewish people, and it's just a very peaceful place in one major regard. So, um, I just think people should know that the peace that will emanate around the earth with the coming of Mashiach. I mean, you can feel it in Israel, and it's unfortunately our enemies want people to think otherwise.
Well, depending on what perspective you're taking, that might be exactly what they don't want. That's the what do they call it?
That's
The
not,
adversary. That's saying, no,
that
we don't want to have that world peace. We don't want to have that redemption. We don't want to have that Mashiach coming.
Exactly, and on our trip to Israel, we met with Bedouins and had coffee with them. We went to the Druzim near Haifa and sat and played music with them. And these are all people that are not Jewish. They're created in the image of God. They love the state of Israel. They love Jews. We love them. And when the media tries to portray this Jew versus Arab story, it is totally false, more false than like the earth being flat. It's really the good ideas of the Torah democracy versus the bad ideas of jihadism.
Right.
And IDF just released a Muslim hostage taken by Muslim jihadis. So it is not Jew versus Arab or Muslim versus Jew. It's jihadism, which should have been left back in the, I don't know, 700s or whenever it was created. And it should not be here in 2024. And that's really what's happening.
And sadly, it looks like it's only growing. It sure seems that way on your news feeds that it's not only growing in the Middle East, but its support is growing all over the West. Also, crazy. Who'd have
Um,
figured?
is it growing? That's a good question. That's a good question. I think the more the West turns its head to this and puts its head in the sand about this,
Right.
it will grow. The more that the West and like celebrities and thinkers and cultural people say this is a ridiculous idea, it'll move back into under a rock. But I think the West does in many ways put its head in the sand.
Well, let's hope that things will be better before they become worse, or at least after they become worse.
Well, this is a good segue. I mean, at least on my side, I've seen a lot of progress using the universal language room, this concept that we've
Oh,
talked about. And we're meeting right now with a Baha'i youth group in Memphis. And when I walk in, this is an African American Baha'i group of young kids. They're already on their phones anyways, right? So my goal is to get them off the phones and talking with me and singing together and dancing together. And it really works. They're such great kids, and they just need someone to come in and say, "Get off the phones." And they'll say, "Yeah, I'm just finishing up like looking up something." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I know. I was also in seventh grade. I know. Put it down." You know? And then they're laughing, and we do the music, and after 45 minutes of this exchange of ideas and music and improvisation, the fact that I'm white or they're black or Jewish or this height, it all fades away. It all melts away. It's such a beautiful feeling. And I think that that's the intent of the Torah when the Torah said that we're all created b'Tselem Elohim is that's the thing that you are. You are the image of God. Everything else is like commentary. And I mean, I know I have my core identity as a Jew, but I'm saying what brings us all together is B'Tselem Elohim. So I've seen a lot of progress on that. I've seen a lot of hope on that. I agree with you. There's a lot of sort of Marxism, jihadism, sort of like crazy insanity stuff growing. I could see that, but I've also seen some great initiatives. There's also for your viewers the Pro Human Foundation. I think I've sent you the link on that, but they're a great new group coming out on a think tank of top thinkers saying we need to look at each other as individuals, not as collectives, not as tribe versus tribe. That's been great. So trends are happening.
where's this pro-human foundation?
I don't know where they were actually started, but it's there was a group called FAIR, and then now there's Pro Human Foundation. If I can share my screen, I'll type it up on the
Should be able to.
handout. Yeah, Pro Human Foundation, and there we are.
You're not sharing
But
your screen if you're trying to.
almost there.
But wait a second. The words pro-human foundation, we don't need to see that. We know how that's spelled. You just Google that and we'll find it. Ah, let's see what you got here.
Yeah, yeah, there. I mean, there it is. There, and the leader, one of the founders is Daryl Davis, who he's really well known for going to meet with Klan members, Ku Klux Klan members, and he pulls them out of the
Ooh,
Klan just by talking to them, just by talking
wow.
to them. He's a great musician. He's a great humanist. He's a great activist. And there's really some great TED Talks with millions of views of him talking about he would just sit with a Klan member and have coffee and say, all right, now,
Wow.
why is it that you hate me? Well, based on what? And why would you want to live like that? And they become friends with him and he brings out their humanity by showing his own. And they give him their robes. So he's got a closet filled of Ku Klux Klan robes from these Grand Dragons and all these,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
he collected them all. So he started this group with Bion and Lori. I'll find Bion's last name. I think is Bartnig, and it's just a great group. So this is a fantastic group of people. Here we go. There's Bion, Bartnig, as I said. Yep. Letitia Kim, Daryl Davis, and then there's Lori Warren, Adam Thompson, Stephanie Cooper. Anyways, and I was able to receive an invitation to join this group, and there's a great board, great partners. So people should
Wait,
just know
wait a
they're
second. Wait a
they're
second.
yeah.
First of all, where are they based? Like, where are they located? You don't know.
Uh,
So that's not important. It's mostly online. It's a
yeah, yeah,
virtual
it's
thing.
online and they go around giving talks at different places. I don't think I see an address for them, but it's
Interesting.
just a great group of these. Here, I'll share one more time of these great sort of activists.
And you're saying that you've been invited to be on the board, so you'll be there on that Who Are We group this
Yeah,
month.
there's yours truly right there on the left.
Oh, as a Yuffie.
And it's just I've met with these folks and I've reached into their LinkedIn and said hello and had talks with them and they're just a great dynamic group. Rabbi Michael Bayo of Phoenix, he's a friend. He was also invited. And anyways, Tabitha Lee, or she goes by Lee, she's just a great educational person, and she's creating this whole curriculum on, kids in the classroom not going with this woke thing about your class was oppressed by this class, by this group, but you're talking about cooperating and working together and not digging up the past and overlaying it on top of a more beautiful present. Seth Kaplan does a lot on neighborhood work of building neighborhoods and communities. It was just a great group of people. So just to give people, your viewers and yourself, just a sense of in America, It's a great group of folks coming together and trying on a real intellectual level to ensure that people look at each other as individuals, not just representations of a collective.
What is expected of you as a board member, and how much time do you put into that? How long have you been a board member?
I don't know, I guess I've been a board member for 6 months.
Oh, so
Um, I'm sort of the bridge maker, not officially, but I've just been showing people that music as a bridge can get folks together, and where I'm needed, I can be brought on a Zoom call to talk to kids about music and dialogue and jazz improvisation. And that's really where the conversations usually go. Right now the group just started. I think it actually just started about 6 or 8 months ago. So everyone's starting to
so
meet
you
each
were
other.
like almost on the ground floor.
Definitely on the ground floor. Yeah. Well,
In
I
other words,
met
you were already a member before they even started the website.
right when the website was coming out, they asked if I would join the board. Yes. What I met Daryl Davis about a year and a half ago through a friend, and we brought him here to Memphis to play a show and talk about his ability to pull members out of the clan. This is something I'm very interested in, is as we both know, how to undermine extremism. And so with his work with the Klan, I thought, what can we do? It's a bit of a notch up, but what can we do with the jihadis? And make sure that the next group of 2-year-olds doesn't go to some, God forbid, Hamas summer training camp. So I know that's a big project, but he's interesting because he actually has results. I mean, I know a lot of people talk about inclusivity and tikkun olam and all that stuff, but I like to see results. I like to see numbers. I'm a business guy, and he produces numbers. So after we did the show with him, we did a great show at the University of Memphis, stayed in touch, and as he opened up this new program, they asked me to continue and working with him.
So I saw a picture of him with a piano, and I
Yes.
know that you're into music, and I think I saw at least one other person who had the word musician in their three-word description under their name when you
Oh, there
showed
could
us
be.
that video. Is everybody there a musician?
No, no, I think it's maybe 2 or 3 people. Daryl plays really great piano, great blues piano. He was the piano player for Chuck Berry. I mean, this is
Oh,
yeah, we're talking about a top level, historical, piano player. And he tells me stories about hanging out with Eric Clapton and all the. I'm like, oh my gosh, this
very
is
cool.
crazy, super cool. Although I'm
And
not really.
again, the at least from your perspective, to be a board member means to be a speaker.
Well, I hope so. I hope that the more my ideas get out and the more people see that as much as I require of other people to see results, that I'm producing results of kids who are Baha'i that want to meet with Jews, who want to meet with Sikhs, and enjoy the power of music, that I could speak places and get a broader audience, and vice versa. I've introduced them to people and helped them meet other folks. So it's very collaborative. It's a great think tank for individualism and looking at people as unique individuals. So I've been thrilled to be included with them.
I'll look into that. And I'd love to meet this. I mean, it would be an honor to meet this Daryl Davis.
Hmm.
And if all it takes is being able to talk on Zoom, well, I do that pretty well. I'll be happy to be a member also.
Let me do this. I'm speaking with Lori Warren on Friday, so let me mention
Tell her
you.
about me and see if she's interested at all. Yes, yes,
That's
no,
why
no.
they hired me, to make the bridges and introductions.
Ah, so there you go.
Yeah, yeah, this is perfect. And he wrote a wonderful. Bayon's actually Jewish and came to Israel about a week ago. He wrote a great thing on keeping the consciousness of the hostages in our minds and how important that is to Israelis. And it's true, you don't think about it because not like I'm so involved with every war going on in the world, but people don't realize how much the Israeli people just are so committed to the hostages and bringing them back and keeping that at the forefront of our minds. And he did a really good article on that. So anyway, just a great group of people. And I know the news can make us think like everything's going the opposite direction.
Yes,
But I've really seen some great initiatives out there, initiatives that really produce results.
very good.
Yeah,
Well, that seems very, very interesting. And I'm looking forward to hearing more about that.
great.
And we here in Israel, as we are talking about, are pretty focused on the hostages and hoping that we will complete the goals of the war, which are to bring all of the hostages back. Today, I believe we're up to 104,
Yeah,
of which about 30 or so are confirmed dead, and the rest are only assumed alive, but you can't. I don't know how they could tell for sure. They can, if there's no presumption that they're dead, then they're working on the presumption they're alive.
Right.
And so it's to bring them all home, and it's to totally be victorious over the Hamas, and to
Yes.
make sure that a regime of terror can never again rule in Gaza to threaten Israel, and certainly to threaten the part of Israel that is so close to Gaza. So
Yes.
we just got to pray for the those solutions, and of course, the solution to all of that will be if the Hamas surrenders. Simple as that.
Yeah, yeah, and for all those college kids and all those strange people who protested for a ceasefire even before Israel started attacking or
That's
and came
crazy.
out on the streets, you've been awfully quiet when Israel accepted the ceasefire, the US accepted the ceasefire, but Hamas has not. You've been awfully quiet. And it's I don't want to hear about social justice anymore. I don't want to hear about people marching for this anymore. When you push for a ceasefire, but when Hamas doesn't accept it, I don't see anybody.
Well,
It's really disturbing.
I'm looking forward to seeing more about this Pro-Human Foundation and hearing more about
Great.
it. And I'm very happy to hear that things are going okay by you, by us as well. And
Good.
I do believe we will hopefully see each other again before Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah, I'd love to meet again. And then I would love to, at some point in the future, plan to meet with you. And then I'd love to see your kids in Uman together and study Rabbi Nachman together. So I think I've not met your kids yet, but I've been studying Rabbi Nachman all the time. So please introduce me.
I'll set something up. I'll
Great.
be happy. I'll be there. They're happy. They know me. They know that I sometimes introduce them to my friends, and they're okay with it.
Great. Great. The
Especially my son
bracha.
that you mentioned, Rabbi Nachman. You know that my son, did you see? My son put out two songs now. I'd love to see, if you haven't seen them, then I'll send them
No,
to
I
you.
loved him. No, that's what I'm saying. I loved what he did with the music. He sent me that. I loved his music and video, and it's awesome. So I just would love to just be in touch.
Very good.
Yeah.
I'll send you his email address, send him that, and he'll be very pleased to see.
I love these conversations. Thank you. It's a bracha. You're doing great work, Gidon, and thank you for the time.
So, Daraba. Have a great